The Syrian landscape has undergone a seismic shift in late 2024. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, once a fringe militant group, now controls a significant portion of the country. Major cities like Aleppo, Hama, Homs, and even Damascus are now under their rule. This dramatic change signifies the end of the Assad regime's decades-long grip on power. The Syrian Prime Minister, in a surprising turn of events, has expressed willingness to cooperate with HTS. This new reality has sent ripples across the region. Iran's influence, once pervasive, has waned considerably. Hezbollah, the Iran-backed Lebanese militia, has also been weakened by this power shift. Turkey, a key player in the Syrian conflict, now finds itself with increased leverage. The international community, however, remains wary. HTS, despite its recent pronouncements of moderation, is still designated as a terrorist organization by the United States and the United Kingdom. The rise of HTS is a stark reminder of the complex and ever-evolving nature of the Syrian conflict. What began as a popular uprising against Bashar al-Assad's regime in 2011 has descended into a brutal civil war, creating one of the worst humanitarian crises in recent history. The emergence of HTS as a dominant force adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. The world watches with bated breath as HTS consolidates its power. Will this group, with its roots in radical ideology, usher in an era of stability and peace? Or will their rule mark the beginning of a new chapter of violence and oppression? The answers to these questions will have profound implications for Syria, the Middle East, and the world at large. To understand HTS's trajectory, we must delve into its past. The group emerged from the ashes of Jabhat al-Nusra, an organization initially affiliated with al-Qaeda. This connection immediately cast a long shadow over HTS, raising concerns about its true intentions. In a calculated move aimed at distancing itself from its extremist past, HTS's leader, Abu Muhammad al-Jawlani, also known as Ahmed al-Sharaa, severed ties with al-Qaeda in 2016. This marked the beginning of a series of rebranding efforts designed to soften the group's image. Despite these efforts, questions linger about HTS's true ideology. While presenting a more moderate face to the world, the group's core beliefs remain shrouded in ambiguity. Some analysts believe that HTS has undergone a genuine transformation, abandoning its radical past in favor of a more pragmatic approach. Others, however, remain skeptical, viewing these changes as a tactical maneuver designed to gain international legitimacy and consolidate power. The truth likely lies somewhere in between these two extremes. HTS, like many other actors in the Syrian conflict, is a complex and adaptable entity. Its ideology is not static, but rather evolves in response to changing circumstances. This fluidity makes it difficult to predict HTS's future course of action. The group's history, however, serves as a cautionary tale. Its roots in radical ideology cannot be erased overnight. The international community must remain vigilant, carefully scrutinizing HTS's actions and holding it accountable for any violations of human rights or international law. HTS's control over Idlib, the last major rebel stronghold in Syria, provides valuable insights into the group's governing style and its vision for the country's future. In 2017, HTS established the Syrian Salvation Government, an administrative body that functions much like a traditional state. The SG boasts various ministries responsible for essential services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. It also features a Sharia-guided religious council reflecting the group's Islamist identity. Despite these efforts to establish a functioning government, HTS has faced criticism for its authoritarian tendencies and its suppression of dissent. Reports of arbitrary arrests, torture, and extrajudicial killings have emerged from Idlib, raising concerns about the group's commitment to human rights. Critics argue that HTS's vision for Syria is incompatible with democratic values and the rule of law. HTS faces a delicate balancing act in Idlib. On the one hand, it must consolidate its control and establish a semblance of order in a region ravaged by war. On the other hand, it must address the needs and aspirations of a population weary of conflict and yearning for freedom. This involves striking a balance between its Islamist identity and the demands for inclusivity and coexistence. The success or failure of HTS's experiment in governance in Idlib will have far-reaching consequences. If the group can demonstrate its ability to govern effectively and responsibly, it may be able to gain a degree of international legitimacy. However, if it continues to rule through fear and repression, it risks alienating the local population and fueling further instability. The spectre of HTS reverting to a more extreme ISIS-like ideology looms large. Such a shift would have catastrophic consequences for Syria, the region, and the international community. The Syrian people, already bearing the brunt of a devastating civil war, would face a new wave of violence and oppression. A resurgence of radicalism in Syria would also have dire implications for regional stability. Sectarian tensions, already simmering beneath the surface, could erupt into open conflict, engulfing neighboring countries like Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. The flow of refugees, already a significant challenge for neighboring countries in Europe, would likely increase, further straining resources and exacerbating social tensions. The international community, already grappling with the rise of extremism worldwide, would face a renewed terrorist threat. Syria could once again become a haven for terrorist groups, providing them with a base from which to launch attacks against the West and its allies. The fight against ISIS, while largely successful, has not eradicated the underlying conditions that allowed such groups to flourish in the first place. A resurgence of extremism in Syria would be a major setback in the global fight against terrorism. The potential for HTS to backslide underscores the need for continued engagement and vigilance from the international community. The United States and the United Kingdom, while maintaining their designation of HTS as a terrorist organization, should explore avenues for dialogue and engagement. This does not mean condoning or legitimizing the group's actions, but rather seeking ways to influence its behavior and prevent a descent into further extremism. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more updates.